That's easy, isn't it? He learned it from his Lord and Savior. So that's where I want to focus today, okay? So we're talking about Stephen, but indirectly. We're looking at his model. The one who taught Stephen faithfulness to the end, because Stephen was just imitating, following his Savior. So we're going to see how this motto works out. Faithfulness produces fruit. That's the title I was given. And first of all, it did that in Jesus' life. His faithfulness produced fruit. And we want to see how this worked out, specifically on Palm Sunday. Of course, back then they didn't call it Palm Sunday. We're the ones who call it Palm Sunday in honor of what happened to him that day. But what we see in Jesus' life is perfect faithfulness. Every day, all day, for his whole life. He was true to his calling, true to his mission, true to his Father, true to his neighbor. You see, that faithfulness translated into perfect love for God, perfect love for his neighbor. Isn't that what Jesus said when someone asked him to summarize the whole law? What's it all about? He said, loving God, what the Jewish faith taught. First, above everything else, loving your fellow human being as yourself. And who has ever done that in his whole life except Jesus? He's the one who fulfilled it so perfectly. And that lifelong faithfulness would produce the fruit of a perfect testimony. Who can imagine that? A perfect testimony. The perfect revelation of his Father. Perfect redemption for humanity. He is the perfect Savior, isn't he? Okay, you're not very convinced, are you? Yeah, I can tell by your enthusiasm. Oh, we need to take a deeper look at this Savior. Because when you get really impacted by his perfection, he's not snooty about it. He's not arrogant. He's humble. He's gentle. And he offers what he did to you and me as our daily victory, our daily bread. So let's look at how it played out on Palm Sunday. That's the Sunday before Passover. You see, there were overwhelming tensions that must have filled Jesus' soul as he contemplated that scenario that was unfolding before him that day. So what we're going to do today in this brief message, I hope I'm going to keep it brief enough, is sort of a psychoanalytical portrait of his self-consciousness. Because Jesus was aware of himself and what he was getting himself into, but he didn't go about it self-consciously, as if he were in first place. No. His eyes are always out there on the sheep, because he was a shepherd. He was looking at those sheep. He had loved those sheep for 33 years at least. He loved his Father perfectly those 33 más o menos years. And here's how it was going to play out on that day. Tensions. Let's look at some of those tensions. The first one was just all the excitement of the people. It was euphoria, we call it. They were just so excited because of what they were seeing. Their hopes were about as high as they could get because of all those signs that Jesus had done. miracle after miracle after miracle. He had to be the long-awaited Messiah. The way he touched people and healed them, no matter what was wrong. The way he gave them food to eat, thousands of them. The way he cast out evil spirits and helped people overcome anything in their path. This must be the King who was coming in the name of the Lord to deliver them from all their enemies. And here he was riding into Jerusalem, you remember, on the back of a donkey. The exact fulfillment of Zechariah's prophecy. Coming as a king in peace, riding that donkey. And the multitudes were ecstatic. And it was contagious. You couldn't sit around with a frown on your face in that crowd. No, sir. They were all just filled with this ecstatic, excited spirit because they believed that their salvation was at hand. It was about to happen. Like you would look if you knew that you were about to win the lottery. You had the winning ticket. You would be smiling from ear to ear, right? Well, this was a lot better than the lottery, okay? But there was another side to it. This tension. Because there was also that dark cloud of conspiracy that was gaining momentum ever since the resurrection of Lazarus. And now it was even drawing in one of Jesus' own disciples. You remember which one, right? What was his name? Say it loud. These guys know.
Judas.
Even one of Jesus' disciples. And Jesus knew this. He wasn't blind. He could read people like you and me. He didn't even have to ask you questions. He could see the thoughts of your heart. And he knew what was going on with Judas. So here are these two contradictory movements going on around Jesus. And it weighed heavily on his heart. But he was staying faithful. Faithful to his calling. Faithful to his mission. His faithfulness produced this deep spiritual sensitivity in him. He perceived what was going on. There was another contrast. There was the special significance of this feast, Passover. I mean, it was always exciting. It made people happy because of what it was commemorating. But this year, of course, more than ever. But this Passover, this celebration, represented freedom from enslavement. You remember, this was when they left Egypt after all those years of being slaves there. This was their rescue, their liberation. That was the backdrop, the historical backdrop for everything that was going to happen that day and that week. The sacrifice of the